Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and in this edition of Let's Learn Dragon Ball FighterZ, we're going to be talking about Bardock and his level 3 in particular here, because we're talking about Bardock's mix-up game he gets after his level 3 attack, because he gets a fairly substantial mix-up anywhere on the screen, and it comes in two flavors. One's extra easy and one's just regular easy, and we're just going to be talking about them. So if you don't know how these work, well, then this video can educate you, but the main idea is just to show you his options, so you can at least have an idea what to do to defend yourself against what he has. So first up, let's just talk about how the auto timing stuff works here, and that's off the back of this happy little guy here. Quarter circle forward medium, that's kind of his rising upper move. And what makes this move so critical to the mix-up, at least this part of it, is he recovers before he touches the ground. So we can whiff this here, and we can get a regular old attack. So we're going to do this, and here's a light. And we can do this, and here's a low. And we'll just show you how this kind of works in practice here. So we're going to do our level 3, we're going to wait a split second, then do our rising upper move, and then we're going to go into the overhead. And that's that easy. So the timing is basically automatic. You don't have to worry about it. And you can do that. You can whiff it and go right into a low. So that's kind of your high-low mix-up right there. Now, you can, what we call fuzzy guard this, although the timing is very difficult. That is, you can hold the block backwards with block overhead move, then immediately block low, and you can kind of get like both the timings. Although anyone who says they can do this reliably is kind of a liar, honestly. But it doesn't matter because we have a third option to break that back pretty easily. Because when we do this, right before we land and go for the low, or go for our overhead, we can do this, and then we can dash, and then go for the overhead again anyway. So now we have two separate different timings on the overhead, and one timing for the low. And of course you can just land and Dragon Rush as well, right? So he has quite a bit of options, and this auto timing works the exact same in the corner here, because one of the biggest strengths of this level 3 is the spacing on the move is the same no matter where you are on the screen. So it doesn't matter if you start this move far away, it doesn't matter if you start this move close, you'll always be able to get your level 3 mixed up. Some characters can only get it, in the corner. Some characters can only get it mid-screen, it varies character to character. Some characters like Frieza basically get nothing, really. But Bardock's got a multi-layer mix-up. So once again here, we got a regular old overhead off the rising uppercut. So we can just hit jab, although if you're timing, if you believe in it, you can actually get a medium as well, although the timing's a little more strict. You can land, do nothing, go for low, so that's kind of the high-low right there. You can, right before you land, air dash and go for a jab. Or you can land, do nothing, go for a Dragon Rush, and you'll get it. Now that's the super basic version. Not to say this next version's more difficult, because it really isn't, honestly. All there is just a small element of manual timing, but we basically get everything we had before and more. So this next version here offers all the same things, with one extra little caveat, one little extra nice little bonus. And all this is we're going to walk forward, then jump. That's kind of all it is. It's really not that complicated. So walk forward just a smidge and do a regular jump. So when you do that, you'll have all the same stuff here. You can go for overhead, you can go for low, you can empty jump, Dragon Rush. You can just hold forward here, just smidge, and get that same delay rush into that overhead, just the same. But we get one additional little trick. And that's we get cross-up on top of everything else. So the cross-up, the easier version for timing is the jab, although you can also do cross-up heavy if your timing's a little more on. So we just turned the 3-way mix-up, that was already incredibly strong, into now a 4-way mix-up with just a smidge of manual timing. You still get all the same options you had before, and now you also get, on top of guessing high-low, now you also have guess left-right on top of everything else. So yes, just so you know, you can absolutely deflect these options here. But the thing is, if you try to deflect the cross-up, what's going to happen here is you're going to do a regular key blast, because then your input is changed to forward and key blast versus backwards for the deflect, meaning you're going to get smacked. And if the air dash part here is delayed long enough, the deflect will actually run out of its timing, and you'll just get smacked anyways, making this an incredibly powerful mix-up. Now, once again, the reason I'm showing you this stuff is just so you can know the options Bardock has. so you can at least begin to defend yourself, because it is pretty difficult, honestly. Now, I'm going to show you one more layer Bardock has advantage on, and since he can, unlike the manual timing of the rising upper, just do a regular jump. So instead of the rising upper jab or the rising upper medium, he's not able to do a heavy attack. One thing though, since he's doing the regular attack timing here, he absolutely can do, just walk forward, right? And just heavy attack. That's something he can do. Versus the more manual timing. Now, that's just a little bit more damage. Now, one thing he can do that's also incredibly strong is he has the Goku family option select for defensive measure. So, what does that even mean, right? So, what this means is his basic ki blast here in the air. So, if I were to just do, hit, ki blast. So, I'm actually going to stay in the air long enough to finish the move, then I can go forward and do a combo, right? So, let's show you an example where this just worked in the middle of a combo. So now this is just going to be a successful version, say it just hit for whatever, we couldn't defend, we just didn't guess right? So here's a successful version of what's going to happen. And then, hey, he gets a combo, whatever, right? Now, an option you always have on the table is, I don't want to have to learn deflector, and a different defensive option. I'm just going to go, put it on the table, and we're just going to level 3. So now the exact same combo is going to play out. And, all the inputs are exactly the same, but screw it, this time we're going to level 3. I don't want to deal with this, right? We're just going to wake up level 3. There we go, we got you. What? What happened there? He just deflected us like we were nothing. Well, since the jump S holds you in the air in the middle of a hit, or on block too, that means we can just input it as not just jump S, but we can input it as jump backwards NS. Meaning, if it hits, cool, came out. But if we land, because, an invincible move happens, so our move going to hit, he just lands and does deflect instead. So, this is just another really strong level Bardock has to work with. So, now you're on defense. What's the best way to deal with this, right? Well, honestly, my favorite way to deal with this, because I'm a defensive player at heart, my favorite way to deal with this garbage, honestly, is to not deal with the mix-up at all and just sparking blast my way out. So, if you're sparking, it'll cover left, right, up, down, everything in between. Sparking is always going to be safe. You obviously burn the sparking, right? But you don't have to deal with any shape or form of the mix-up. So that's something at the very least, right? You obviously only got the one to burn, but if you just don't want to deal with it, sparking is your man. Another thing to note too, while it's never a thing you want to be, if your back is to the wall, at least thankfully, you only have to deal with the high-low part of things. The left-right won't apply because you cannot actively, unless you got a couple gimmicks, which Bardock doesn't have, at least none I know of, you can't actively steal the corner from the enemy. So at the very least, even though it's not ideal, you only got to deal with the up-down part of the mix-up, not the left-right. Now, that said, when you are hit by this, you got a couple ways out. You obviously can block correctly, that's a pretty big one, right? You can wake up deflect. Wake up deflect will deal with the instant overhead part and the low. So now we're just going to wake up and mash deflect here, and we deflect it away. It's not always ideal because obviously it falls prey to the, I just do this in the Dragon Rush. Or, just do that into nothing and they can watch you whiff it and then they can hit you anyways. But we got a couple other ways out. Now another option we have here, this is very, very risky, works against the delay overhead or the cross-up versions of the mix-up, is we just wake up down heavy. So this is risky. If your timing is not impeccable, you're going to get beat out anyways. You got to do it really fast. But it will work, and deflects are not necessarily a guaranteed reversal of fortune, turning the tables on an enemy. But smacking down heavy, that'll do the trick. So that will work against the cross-up versions and the delay versions here. But once again, you gotta be super on the ball. Because if you even delay by a frame, you'll get hit in the startup and you'll counter hit out and you won't have that air invincibility and you're going to lose. But yeah, so that'll work out. One thing though, keep in mind if they block, because if they went for the nothing option, just like this into a Dragon Rush or this into block and see what your action is, try to cancel it into something safe-ish, because it might just save your bacon in that regard. Because if you just do this raw and you get blocked and nothing else, then you're probably going to punish down, but still it's another option on the table besides just deflect or guess right and block correctly. So there's how the mix-up works after the level 3, and also some of the options you have. As of the time of this recording, because you might be watching this in the far future for all I know, and if you are, hopefully the future is pretty cool. Bardock is right now indisputably one of the best characters of the game. And the mix-up off his level 3 anywhere on the screen. You know, some people need the corner, or some people need some sort of setup, right? Bardock don't care. And on top of that, like, this moves air okay too, so he can salvage any combo or any stray hit into this level 3 mix-up situation into a potentially dead character. So knowing your options is the first step to being able to defend yourself, and in that regard, I hope this video found you well, because it sucks to be against it. Like, the guessing is never going to be in your favor. Once again, my favorite way to defend against this is just Sparking Blast, because it's the most reliable way out. If you got hit by this, you probably got some blue health to recover anyway, so it's not a complete waste. And it's the best way to say, I don't want to deal with this right now. You know, sometimes in this regard, it's better to sparking early and save the character versus just saving it for your last guy. Because if you always have someone to work with, that's better than just saving it for your last guy and having the best sparking. Because sometimes, you know, a point character is the most important character to keep alive. And one Bardock mix-up later, he might be dead. So yeah, so hopefully you understand it now. You can defend yourself against at least a little bit. But that concludes this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.